to those muscles. So I'm going to start with a very, very light touch. I'm going to rest my hand on his nose. I like to keep my fingers around the noseband, so if he does throw his head around, I can stay with him without fighting him. And I'll rest my hand on his nose, and I'm going to put my fingertips here on this bone here, on the wing of the atlas, very lightly. You can see he starts to get nervous right away. So I'm going to wait for him to relax. Relax, buddy. There. Just by relaxing and putting my fingers here, he's starting to release tension here and relax it. Now, what I'm going to do is just very gently here, I'm going to call this egg yolk with my fingers, and I'm going to start to wiggle his head just a little bit, just resting these fingers here. Just very lightly wiggle his nose. And he softens. I'll just keep a little bit of wiggling up. And then I like to stop, and then wiggle a little more, and then stop. Now, if he starts to bring his head towards me too much because he's trying to kind of protect it, I'm going to put his head back over to the front. You stay over there, buddy. And I'm going to get a little wiggling. There, we can see it actually wiggling here. Now I'm going to stop, slide my fingers down a little bit. I like to switch to the back of my fingers here because it's easier for me. And just get a little, just slide down a few inches and wiggle a little bit. Now, if he starts to pick his nose towards me, I need to ask him to stay over there and wiggle it there. Good boy. And stop. Wiggle it. And I'm looking for signs of softening in his eyes. Stop. Now I'm going to slide down right here. I'm going to ask him to wiggle a little there. Stop. I'm using a little more pressure now to keep him over there because he's trying to tuck his chin in and avoid it. So I'm going to need a little wiggling. Good boy. A little wiggling. Good boy. He's softening now. Slide down. A little wiggling. When he throws his head, I just go with him. A little wiggling. A little wiggling. I'm going to slide down. A little wiggling. Now when he keeps trying to bring his nose towards me, so this is actually a good lesson here. Often when you're doing the horse doing this to protect this area here, he's going to tighten his chin down and bring his nose in towards you. When that happens, you need to ask him to stay over here, one, stay out there as much as possible, and you ask him to bring it in and relax at each stage of the game. And relax here by wiggling at each stage of the game. Now he's starting to tuck his chin in, but I'm going to continue down and relax here and wiggle at each stage of the game. Now when he starts to tense and tuck his chin in here, you need to lift. So I'm going to move my other hand to under his chin and gently lift a tiny bit and relax. Lift a tiny bit. And now he's relaxing it as right into my hand. Lift a tiny bit. And he's relaxing his weight of his chin into my hand. Now lift a tiny bit. I'm only doing it in small stages because I want him to relax each step of the way. If I just start lifting, he's just going to stay tense. Give a little bit wiggle each step of the way. And as he drops his head into my hand, I'll lower my hand so he'll put more weight into my hand. Get a little wiggle here. And a little wiggle here. And a little wiggle here. And soften, and then lift a little more. And then soften.